So would their video on YouTube have been cut short?
It'll be stopped just now, yeah.
Okay.
So that's in offline, so I don't really understand.
That says live.
This is live, but this is not actually able to.
Hello. Yay, says Tiffany. Oh, we're live on Facebook. Can people on?
Oh, they can hear us.
Oh, they can hear us. Yay! Well, I don't even know how that happened. Oh, we did restart.
Yeah.
We did restart the software.
It's got the streams are still live. So.
Oh, that's good. You can hear us? Oh, yay! So, Craig, keep your phone on you because things come in three. So the computer went wonky, wouldn't connect. The audio went wonky. This does not bode well. Hello, everybody. Let's catch up. We have got, who have we got? I know we have Pamela. I saw Pamela's name pop up. And we've got Teresa, hello. Tiffany's here too. Denise and Ashley. Jazz is here. Hey, Jazzy Bear. Robbie's here. And we have Candy. And Hanneke van Hoots. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy that we are working. I'm sorry about that. I've been struggling for nearly an hour now. Let's just go straight to the crafty fun times because I want to play with some of our July release. I'm so excited. So, up until now, I've been playing with a lot of the dogs and things, and I haven't really been playing with a lot of the You Go Gull stamps or the A Little Shellfish stamps because they all sold out. You guys were like, whew, came in, bought them all. So the great news is that we actually have more stamps now in stock. So if you were waiting on the gulls, You Go Gull, or if you were waiting on the little lobster, little shellfish, they're back in stock along with a restock of our other stamps, like older stamps like otters were all sold out and things like that. And we also have added dies onto the store. Now technically they're not actually arriving until Monday, but I've put them on the store now because tomorrow we have got a blog hop. An inspiration blog hop, so please join us for that. You can hop along, get lots of inspiration, and yeah, you can comment along the way on the hop for a chance to win the I think it's a £50 voucher to the Heffy Doodle store, which, let's face it, that would be quite a nice little present coming through the door, wouldn't it? So we have added the dies now because I won't be packing the orders till Monday anyway. So I wanted to play with the slimline dies because they're in store. I will mention we've had a lot of stores asked us to send them stock. And we've had so many stores ask us to send them stock that when I added up what everybody wanted, it's actually more than what's coming. Everyone's gone nuts for them. So I'm adding them to the shop this weekend and I don't know how long they're going to stay there. So grab them while you can if that is what you're interested in, because we've had a lot of comments about them. And the other thing that I thought would be fun is if I show you today the pull tab die, the slimline pull tab die, and I've used it here on these different cards, but I thought it would be fun to show you guys how it works. I know somebody asked me, was it last week, how it worked, and I said I'll show you whenever they're back in stock, because otherwise we have if you all want them and you can't get them, that's frustrating. All right, so this is the slimline pull tab. And then this is the Stitched Slimline Trio. So the great thing about the trio, these kind of work together, by the way. So this bigger die here in the Stitched Slimline Trio, this is the perfect size for your slimline card. This is like the base of your card. Now, if I grab an envelope, here we go. So in the US, this would fit into a size 9 or a size 10 envelope. I actually don't have any size 9 or size 10, but you can imagine that it would just fit in there nice and neat. Here in the UK, we have DL envelopes, and it does fit, but it's a little snug, I will say. This is the largest die, and you can, and it's got oh, this has got 2 layers of foam, so that one's not going to want to fit in. But some of these other ones, you will definitely be able to slide it in, but it is a little bit snug. But that's okay, because what you can do if you want to make a thicker card like this is you could actually use the slightly smaller size if you wanted to give you a little bit of wiggle room. So the great thing also about the slimlines, it gives you a lot more area, a lot more real estate to create your card, which is lots of fun. So I'm going to be using the Stitched Slimline Trio, and I'm also going to use this scallop rectangle die from the Slimline Pull Tab, and probably one of these other ones here for the inside of my card. And that will help me build up a really cute image. I'm just checking. Can somebody please write a comment? At the moment my comments have stopped, and I'm worried that maybe they're not coming through anymore. Let's have a look. All right, what shall we do for our... Oh, they're there. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Pamela. I think probably I'm just a little bit nervous. So in regards to the measurements for the card, this is, now I want to say 7.5. The finished card, oh sorry, 8.5 by 3.5. So what that means is that it's the full width of your 8.5 by 11 card. So let's actually grab a piece of card from my Heffy Doodle cardstock collection. Let's have a deep blue. Should we have a deep blue? Yeah, let's do a deep blue. It looks a little bit off color on the camera, but it is a nice Cookie Monster blue, which is why it's got Cookie Monster. And I'm going to crease this at 3.5 inches to be the base of my card. And then I'm just going to actually give that a little nudge at 7, and then use my guillotine to trim that down. And that actually means if you're using a white piece of card, it actually means you can use this offcut piece to create the rest of your card. So that works really well. So I'm going to set this one to the side for now. And we're going to cut one of these to go on the background. And I think I'm just going to go for white with this one. So what has everyone been up to? How's everybody doing? Has anybody booked any holidays? Got any plans for vacays? Okay. Pamela says, I really like these dies. I think having the extra room for creating your project has been really fun. At the start, I was intrigued, I would say. I was intrigued, but I was like, yeah, okay, fine. But I don't see me making lots of them. And then I've made like 2 or 3, and I was like, oh yeah, this is addictive. This is addictive. So here we have one here. Will be the background for us. Candy says, I'm at my parents' where the humidity was gone until today. Tomorrow's supposed to be 105, so I'm glad to be driving home in the air instead of their home. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, I'm glad you got on your way home. Be nice and safe. Be able to breathe. Breathe again. All right. So this is the smallest one here. And I think I'm going to use that instead of this one, just so I can see a bit more of that frame around about. And I'm going to then use this one to build my scene and to have my pull up mechanism. Now I'm trying to decide whether I want a blue background. I think I'm going to have maybe, I think I'm going to do white, because here's the reason why. Then I can ink it up whichever color I like. That's the thoughts anyway. Let's create a little bit of space here today. And then we can keep going from there. Candy says she went blueberry picking and baking and garage sailing. Oh, that sounds amazing. That sounds like so much fun. I want to do all those things. What did you bake? Blueberry muffins? Num num num. Ashley says, the slimline shape is very appealing. Tiffany says, we're supposed to go to Myrtle Beach over the 4th, but ended up cancelling. So instead we went to North Carolina and South Carolina to visit family. Oh, amazing. I don't know where Myrtle Beach is though. But it sounds like you had a wonderful time. Okay, so I'm going to leave this die out because I'm going to cut other panels. I'm going to use this to get it into the shape of the rectangle. But let me grab the slimline pull tab dies. So there's a couple of things here that will help you understand how this works. Put that to the side because that's a separate thing altogether. So what we do is we create a groove into your card, and that is where your element is going to slide. So let's say, for example, this is not a shape, but let's say I have a shape here, and whenever you pull up the tab, it moves up this groove, this slot. Now, the actual slider pull tab is this. So this is the mechanism that will, you'll create a piece of card and it will sit behind your card panel, and you'll pull that up. And it's these bits here, you'll see it all come together a little bit later on, how that ends up creating a thing on the front here that will move up and down. Now, if you wish, you can have different lengths to give your items more room to move. With this slimline pull tab die, you can have something that starts here and pull it right the way up to the top. If you need this longer, all you do is you cut the hole like this, and then once you've cut that once, you slide it up and you can cut it again to make it the length that you really want. If you only want a short pull tab, like for example the dogs, I only did little pull tabs using this guy, and from here you just trim off the tab where it comes out the top, no problem at all. So the other thing that you need to bear in mind is that we will need a hole in this section here. If I show you what I mean. In this front panel, there is this square section chopped out that you pull up, and that's what you use this die for. So this die has cutting elements here, and then this is actually to help you align the die correctly, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And once again, you can have it right at the top here, or you can have it on the side. You can put it wherever you want. Then you also will need a little flap to go around the thing that you pull, and that is this one. And the great thing about this is that it die cuts a cute little arrow. You might not be able to see, there's like a little arrow there. So you could use that, just either color the arrow or cut it out again in a different color so that you can pop it in. But we have given you the option to use the other side of it and stamp something on there. So these are all stamps using the pull tab add-on stamp, but then you could just use the arrow on one side if you want to do that. This here is what I call a belly band, and this helps you make sure that the thing that you pull stays straight. And then this is a little secure circle, and I'll tell you what that's for in a little bit. So if you guys are ready, we will get started on making the slim line pull tab. We'll make a die using, or make a card using this. Let me catch up on your comments. Candy says, my sister made blueberry buckle, which is like a giant muffin but better. Yum. I made 3 pans of multi-chip cookie bars for my mum for a fundraiser. Mmm. Yum, 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 yum. Tiffany says, we just didn't go to the beach, but we went to different parts of South Carolina. Awesome. Sharon says she managed to figure it out. Yay! Good. You might learn some things today. Or you might tell me. Ready, ready, ready to start, says Pamela. Yay! Okay, so I think for this, we're going to do a long one. I don't even know what the design is going to be just yet. But if we have something that we can pull all the way up, and in fact, let's do the long one just so that you can see exactly what the situation is. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my groove, the slit or the slot, on my project where I want it to be. It doesn't have to be in the middle, but I wouldn't put it here because this is going to come off the end. Does that make sense? So I'm going to put it in the center because I think it's more visually pleasing to have the pull tab at the top. So you do kind of have to eyeball that slightly. So we'll do that. First step. Now, if anybody is confused or wanting instructions, over on the Heffy Doodle blog, no, not the blog, over on the Heffy Doodle store, whenever you click on the slimline pull tab die product photo, if you go into it and like scroll through the photos, there are photos showing you how to make it work. So let's see. So this is the first step here. We've got a groove. a groovy baby. And then the next thing is you're going to use this sort of T shape to die cut one of these. So let's die cut that. Jasmine says she bought a rowing boat dinghy. Where are you gonna go with your rowboat? You're going to go to Witterings or something, or Newquay maybe? All right, so one thing I will say is that if you have a long pull tab, it's going to be a little bit flimsy. You see the way that's bending? If it's shorter, it stays straight easier. So what I recommend is that you actually cut a couple of these long lengths. They don't have to include the T-bar at the bottom. They can just have the length, that's no problem. So I'm going to cut a couple of them to help make the pull tab more robust. Now the other thing that you might not know is that card and paper has a grain. So some card will naturally bend really easily one way and not easily the other way. So I take a piece of card as an example. If you try to bend a piece of card, it'll fold easily one way and not easily the other. Go and do it now if you've got a piece of card. Take a piece of card, and this one, like I can touch my knuckles together, but this one, it's definitely got more resistance, and that's because of the grain of the paper. So what you might find is that it makes a difference which way you cut the paper. So test it out. You want the way that's going to be the strongest. Sadly, I think I've chosen the opposite way, but hey ho. Somebody says, I used a thicker cardstock because I had a long slider. Yes, that works fine. You can, however, just double these up, which is exactly what I'm going to do at the moment. I'm going to use probably 2 of these and then this one. So it's going to be really hard for you guys to see, but from this corner here down there is a crease mark. Same on this side. And then from this corner down there is also a crease mark. Now, and this is to help us fold together the ends of this T section. And what you'll see is actually it comes together to create a circle, and that helps guide you putting everything all together. Now, I do recommend that you use a bone, you don't have to use a bone folder, but I think if you use a bone folder to go over those creases, you'll get a much neater finished result. So what you do is you need to fold the semicircle and the rectangle into the middle. Hey Becky! And then fold the semicircle back. Can you see that? Let's see if I can. So you fold everything in and then the semicircle back like this. And then the same on the other side, fold everything in and then the semicircle back, which leaves you with a circle in the middle. And that has been created especially to make things easier for you guys, because that circle is going to be pushed through the slit and folded down. Now because I creased that, the circle is touching really nicely. Oh, hello. The circle is touching really nicely in the middle. If you just fold it over, you might find that it's a bit bulkier there. So creasing it will actually allow it to slide a lot easier. So let's put this back down. Now, the next thing to do is to cut the little circle here. So let me just die cut this. And then you use glue to stick that on top, and that secures your slider so that you can pull it up and down. Does that make sense? Now, don't do that until you're ready to stick everything together, because I find that it's much easier to decorate my background and ink it all up before I actually assemble the slider mechanism. But let's say, let's pretend that we are ready and we have our circle on top, and this is going to slide up and down like this. And there's a couple more things we need to do. First of all, we need to cut the groove up at the top. Now, I actually like to secure this long straight like this. That's it. So this is where our pull tab is going to come up. So let me show you this die. Like I said, there is a cutting line that comes down, around and up. But what you need to do is, can you see the flat section? There's no cutting in this flat section here. But the magic lining up side is this bottom edge here. So if can you see there's a gap here? If I move that down just until that edge touches the top of my card, that's where I want it to be, right there. We don't want it on the top edge of the die, but the bottom edge of the die. We can stick that down like so. And run this through the die cutting machine. So this is what it looks like so far. Can you see? All right, let's give that a go. Taylor's here. Hi Taylor, and Snow, and Becky is hello. So now when we remove this, we have our perfect groove at the top. Now you can throw this bit away, but let's say you were putting this onto a blue background. What you might want to do is stick this down behind, because this one's going to be raised up, and then it will give a continuity for that rectangular shape. Otherwise, when you pull it up, you'll see the blue behind it. So it's up to you what you want to do. This is actually going to go on to this. So I'm probably not going to see much of a difference. Oopsies. So now we've got two other elements that we have to die cut. We have what I call the belly band, and then the actual pull section as well. So the belly band, I can use this little scrap of paper here. And this is essentially a belt that will wrap around the long slider element and keep it on the straight and narrow. However, before I put that on, I'm going to layer up my 3 different layers of card for this guy. You can do what Sharon said and just use a thicker cardstock. That works also. Already this is becoming more sturdy. Like so. This is this Taylor is asking what the die set is. This is the Slim Line Pull Tab die by Heffy Doodle. So see if I can reassemble it somewhat. There we go. So now this is much sturdier. It's not really going to bend at all, and it's going to be much easier to pull up and down. So once again, we can put in those little semicircles here into the slider section. And then for the belly band, what you do is somewhere between the top of the slit and the notch, we're going to secure this little guy. So all you need to do is take this belly band, and it does have some grooves on it, and wrap it around like so. And you want it so that this can slide. It's not too tight. And I always put it with the flap on the outside like this. Needs to be able to move up and down nicely. So we're going to secure this belt just right here whenever we're ready to have our slider mechanism working just fine. However, we are going to now focus on the actual card. Yay! Hey, yells, yells. Jasmine says she's practicing some backgrounds with distressing tonight, as I haven't had a chance to play with different techniques and ideas. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, so guys, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do on our card today? So I definitely think that we should have some water, and I think like an ocean, and I definitely think that we should have some sand. So we could have sand at the bottom and water up above, something coming out of the water. Or maybe we could have water down below and then sand at the back. So I'm actually thinking that I might do sand and water and then have like an otter or something coming out of it. I'm not sure. Yells says, is that your mechanism die? Yes, it is. It is indeed. It is indeed. Ooh, so we wanted to have, oh, I've just realized something that I should have said is that you can use it this way as well. Actually, that's something that we could maybe do, is have it this way and pull it out so you have something going across your card. So that's kind of fun. And probably a little bit different. Oh, Yells just says an underwater theme. Oh, we could have a seal. I did want to put my gulls on it. We have our gulls and we have our little shellfish. we also have our seals. All our seals look like they're... Well, I guess these guys could be swimming. The other ones look like they're just having a jolly old good time of it. We could put this guy's head on something and then he moved to the side. That would be kind of cute. Actually, I remember going out on my Uncle Jimmy's boat, and we were fishing, and then I said to Uncle Jimmy, "Is that a seal?" And he was like, "Oh, the little..." Well, if there's a seal here, there's not going to be fish for about 3 miles. So yeah, the sea lion was he's coming to see if we had good fish. Because if there's a fisherman, there must be good fish out there. Oh, we've got some great ideas here. The gull could look like it's flying off with a French fry. Ooh, he could be flying off, coming off a log. This actually looks like it. This is going to be fun. Let's do this. So we could have, he could be coming off a log. He could be coming off one of the buoys. That could work also. And we could use the water down here. And he could be flying along with his thing. Maybe we could even have a log over here with, maybe he's got a little friend, little lady friend over here perhaps. That would be cute. Do you think we should do that? We could have a water floating, a bottle of water, a message in a bottle. A message in the bottle floating on the water, perhaps. That could work. That could work. And then we have some, maybe some clouds in the background or something to that effect. Should we try that? Okay. Let's stamp some of these guys. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, good. Let's get our stamps on the go. And we need this little guy who's flying. And a message in the bottle. And we'll see. See if we can get anything else in there. I don't think any of these creatures are going to be in the sea, but we might get a sea lion or something. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I'm very much a let's just make it up as we go along kind of person, as you guys know. So Sharon says that she tried this die already. Anyone else out there tried it or seen it in action? And Sharon, please let us know what kind of card you made. What was the moving item in your card? I'd love to know. I think what we do need is like a little fish. Remember to find a little fish. Is there a fish in the seal set? I feel like there is. He's not very big though. Let's see if I can find a bigger one. I'm not sure if I have a bigger one. I guess I need a set with fish on it now. Got a manta ray. a starfish, and a little turtle. Okay, we'll come back to that. I know I have a fish in the, oh, I do have a fish in the warm hug stamp set. The gull could be carrying a fish either. That might work. Let's stamp some fish. See what happens anyway. I love the French fry idea, says Marcy. Yeah, we could try French fry. Let's stamp these fish anyway so that we've got them. And in fact, maybe we could have one of these poles could be used as a French fry. That one's kind of skinny. That's the fishing line. But we've also got a fishing pole as well, which is a bit thicker, so that might work too. They're on a Facebook group. I used a dog theme with the slidered eyes, but also used the gull to make a shadow box. Ooh, cool! That's fun. All right. So let's color in these little guys. So in our design team, we had much discussion over the color of gulls across the globe. What's your thoughts? What color are globes in your globes? What color are gulls in your part of the globe? With us, gulls tend to be white, with their young being like a warm grey color. And some of them have like a black bit on their wings, which is why this has got a little flesh on there, little arrow. So I'll start with some cool greys. On their underbelly. And a couple of times now I've taken one of my gulls and drawn a little eyelash on it, just so that it looks like, gives it a little feminine touch, you know. Grey and white, some are white and some are both grey and white. Okay, so pretty much a consensus on the old grey and white theme. I'm going to give these ones black tips on their wings. Like this. Oh, come on, C5. I think my C5 has run away. Nice. And I'm going to use some Y38 to bring a little bit of orange. To their feet and their beak. And Y11 to blend it out a little. That's why I love some critters. Like critters, all you need is a tiny bit, especially of like warm grey or cool greys. You don't need an awful lot. Are the stamps big enough to take a googly eye? Do you know, I think they would, the tiny googly eyes. I actually have some googly eyes. I can maybe, that would be really funny if he was flying with a googly eye. E25 for that one. E35 for that one. Y21 on top, and also blending this out. All right. Grey chest and wingtips, and white and dark grey black with speckles. Yes, I actually really enjoy giving them little speckles on their belly. So give them like just couple of little pounces. Oh, that was a big pounce. And I always try to do a couple of different colors because I think it kind of makes it more realistic that way. Yay! All right. So French fry, huh? What colors are French fry going to be? YR31 for that guy. And a message in a bottle. I'll do a little bit of blue and deepen it up at the bottom. We'll go for sort of a neutral color for the actual parchment. If there's a message in a bottle, I don't think paper, I think parchment. Aunt Max, hey Aunt Max. Googly eyes definitely work well on seagulls. Okay, well we're gonna try that for sure. For sure. E21 with an E33 for our cork. And I'm going to go G00 for a tiny bit of just an accent piece on that. So a big question is, what shall we color the boy? I'll let you guys think about that while I see if I can find some googly booglies. Oh, googly bear! Oh my word. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's less feminine, but way more like whimsical. He's amazing. That's happening. That is happening for sure. Perfect size. She'll keep you over there, Mr. Googly Eyes. All right. So while all of you are thinking about what color our boy or buoy is going to be, let's cut out some of these elements. 1 vote for red so far. From Sharon. You could add eyelashes to make them more feminine. Yeah, you probably could. Probably could. What did I do with them? All right, so let's get our message in a bottle cut out. So for those of you who missed the conversation at the start of the live stream, congratulations, you also missed the technical difficulties that we had. Nevertheless, we have a blog hop happening tomorrow over at the Heffy Doodle blog. And we will be sharing lots of inspiration with the new release. Other big news is that we now have dies back in stock over the Heffy Doodle store. The Slimline Trio die and the Slimline Pull Tab die. So we have them. We have a lot of back orders from stores. So I've added it to the shop so people can get what they want over the weekend before things start going to the stores on Monday. And I should also mention that we are going to bring back the little lighthouse. Actually, maybe we could put the lighthouse in the distance. Oh, I think I'd do that if I was doing it long ways. I don't think it would be. Not sure if we can make it work that way. So the little lighthouse, we've got a promotion where if you spend £30, you'll get the little lighthouse stamp set free. If you spend £45, you'll actually get the stamps and the dies. Now this guy is going to be my moving seagull. And one of the things that you might realize is that the pull tab, which has disappeared on me. Here it is. The circle, it might be bigger than his body. Actually not that much, so it's not so bad. But you can trim down the circle before adding your image onto there. So that's a thing. The other thing I would recommend is for the moving little guy, I would always die cut at least one more. Doesn't have to be perfect, but at least die cut one more layer of him and stick it on the back, because that will actually that'll make him a little bit more sturdy. So Becky and Carla are asking, did I reveal any new products? I haven't revealed anything since the July release. All right. So he's pretty sturdy. The other thing you can do is use a die cut to help you mark where on your page or where on your semicircle you want to cut. Oh, this is a thicker piece of card anyway. So for example, if you use this, you know that this is going to slide from left to right. instead of using that one, use this one. And then you can use a pencil to draw a little line. And cut that away. Now you will have to cut that out of the semicircle before sticking it on as well. But that's okay. So now when you stick this on, you won't be able to see the pull tab mechanism, like so. That all makes sense? Might as well stick him on, seeing as I have him. All right, so someone said red, someone said aqua for the boy. So we're thinking the boy over here somewhere maybe. And then we have the seagull is going to be flying. And we're going to have maybe a seagull here. And then this will pull all the way over like so to there, which I think is going to be fun. Okay, let's color in this guy. Great tip, says Sharon. I'm not sure what the tip was. Was it die cutting it several times, was it? I missed it. Pamela says, you always have great tips. Thank you for sharing. Ah, thank you. Right, so let's see if we can color in this little guy. We'll go for some red, shall we? My dog little accents to it, and she went, are you adding bird poop? To which of course I burst out laughing, thought it was like the best thing ever. How funny is that? Awesome. Okay, so we have this little guy ready to die cut as well. Taylor says, I got the lighthouse and wish I'd realized if I bought more I could have got the die. I would have done an order instead of two. Yeah, you got to be careful of things like that. Do you know the other thing that really surprises me is you get free shipping if you spend £100, and every time I'm like pulling an order and some every time I pull an order and somebody spent like £98, I always think, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? You could have got a free stamp nearly. Certainly one of the smaller stamps for free. So that's something to be aware of in the future. All right. So let's color in what we want to color in. Add maybe a little bit of water to the bottom of this panel. We've got the skinny link here. Let's die cut some water for this. We'll go for some Ice Blast, at least to get us started anyway. I might actually ink it up a little. Why not? Yes, red worked well, I think. All right. Taylor says, will we be able to buy the lighthouse die? The lighthouse die is not available for sale until our next release, so it'll be later in the year, because at the moment it's only a promotion, it's an exclusive. So the only way you can get the stamp and the die is by basically through the Heffy Doodle store. So we have a promotion. It's not advertised on the blog just yet, but any orders that come through from now will get it. Where there we go. Any orders of £30 will get the stamp and 45 will get the die. But in situations like that, if you have a situation where you already have the stamp, then you can put a note in the comments. Like I have no problem with things like that. Instead of the stamp, could I get the die? I've already got the stamp, that kind of thing. Like put it in the comments. I have no problem making exceptions like that. It doesn't happen all the time. Like if we got a free friend stamp with every order, you can't go, I've already got the friend, can I have another free one? That's not how that works. But certainly in this situation, we can make it work. Right, I'm trying to line this up along here. I'm not too worried if it's neat in the middle, because I'm going to have this little guy covering my sins. Marcy says, I was so excited to place my order. I didn't realize I was getting a free gift until my order arrived this week, and it was a really fun surprise. Isn't that the best surprise? Oh, it turned out pretty well, actually. Can probably put him on the top, actually. Let's see. This can go like that, and we could maybe even put that one in there. We could put that behind maybe. Or we could put it in front. I quite like it in the front. He's like taking off from it. And if we could sneak another layer behind this, might need to die cut all those other areas, like the groove and the pull tab, if we did that. And I also feel like I might want a red background instead of a blue one now. Or we could put that in the background, couldn't we? This flies along here. This one could go along here. that's kind of cool. I love it. Okay, let's make it so. So now I need to cut my groove in the blue one as well. So let's see if we can share a tip here. I'm going to use my Heffy memo tape for this. I thought it was an accident, said Marcy. Sometimes I get messages like that. Oh, I think you've accidentally added something. Sometimes we put a little sticker on it that says, this is a gift for you. So I've got my front panel here, and I'm going to take my larger blue and line it up corner to corner behind it, and fold my memo tape behind like so. And now I'm going to grab my plate and my die. And I'm just going to nudge it right in there until it pops in there. I'll stick that down like so. And I'll put this through first. I could do both of the dies at the same time, but I don't want to tempt fate. Night, Jasmine. Perfect. So actually, I need to leave that back on there still. And we'll do the pull tab. And just nestle that in where he belongs. It should fit in there nice and snug. Before I do that, I'm just going to remove this die. Sharon says, I need to dry this tomorrow. All right. I need to tidy up a minute. Got my clutter keeper on the go. Is there a minimum spend to get the die free? So £30 you get the stamp free, 45 you get the stamp and the die. But what I said, Taylor, is that if you spend, so you've got two choices. You can either spend £30 and write a note to say, I've already got the stamp. Is it possible I could have the die instead of the stamp? Put that in the notes. Or you spend 45, get the stamp and the die, and then you give the stamp to somebody else as a gift. It's an option. Okay, so now we have a beautiful C here. We have another beautiful C right here. And then we have our seagulls ready to go. I love it. So I just need to decide whether I want to put any inking on the background. I'm not sure if I do. Although it might be cute to do like a sunset. Or I might just ruin everything. What's your thoughts, you guys? What if we added like a... What if we added sort of like an orangey, yellowy sunset. Sharon says, oh, I ordered the new clutter keeper and the phone holder. It's on its way. Oh, yay. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it for sure. All right, so I think I might add a tiny bit of like orange along the back, and I'm probably going to end up putting a sentiment along there. Maybe "You Go Girl" would be fun. Yeah, I think he would pop with the sunset sky. Let's see what happens. Let's get my ink blending mat out. I need to remember that there's not a lot of distance. There's not a lot to see. Get off, Mr. Fly. Which is kind of where my like finger daubers and things would come in handy rather than larger ink blending tools. Let's see what I've got here. I've got a pink one. There's hardly any pink in it, which is probably a good thing. Let's get some worn lipstick maybe. Pinky. I'm going to focus more in the middle here, so I just get a very slight faded pink coming up. It's going to look like a big line on here, but don't worry, don't worry. I'm not going to see that. We're not going to see that at all. Oh, Becky and Carl, check your junk mail for an email from Joe from Time for Tea. On Wednesday nights, Joe and Amy and I tend to have a little, we do a little video chat and we craft a little. It's lots of fun. And I was using my clutter keeper and things, and she said, oh, I've emailed them. Actually, I haven't emailed them back. And I said, or I haven't heard back from them. And I said, try again, because I got the customs code from them today. She's probably just gone in their junk. She's probably. Okay, got some wild honey on the go. So it's not really looking like much. It's looking like a hot mess at the moment for you guys. I'm aware. I'm not bothered. It's not going to look bad at the end of all this. Promise. Ranger's decided it's time to steal Mummy's chair. You coming up to the chair, buddy? Hey? Coming up? My boy. Mummy's boy. I'll have to live over there. The blue would pop with the sunset sky. I have the little dinosaur stamp that could work with the mechanism. Yeah, absolutely. Lots of options. Okay, so actually we're only really seeing orange at the moment and not pink. So let's blend that pink back up. Especially like the pterodactyl-y one, the flying one, that would be really cool. Nice. Just going to bring some of that wild honey up a wee bit more now. What's wrong with you? Taylor's off to bed. Night night. There we go. Get off, Mr. Manny. So the one thing about this is that we want to make sure that this is pretty secure. So let's stick this down with some wet glue. And that slot is lining up perfectly, so I'm very happy indeed. All right. So we're going to stick this one down here. This is where he's going to fly. And I'm actually going to stick this down flush because I don't want him to catch. But let's add a little bit of blue. Just kind of along. Ooh. Oh, disintegration.com. Apparently we're not going to use that one. Let's try a new one. Bring a little bit of blue. Actually, this blue is not dark enough, I don't think. Let's try a different one. Maybe a mermaid lagoon. Just to bring little depth. To this area down here. A little boat going past with the banner sentiment. That would be so cute. I like that idea. I actually had a thought that we definitely need a little boat. So we need fish and we need a little boat. You on tight, buddy? Just gonna let the dog out. I'll be right back. All right. It's had enough of my warm craft room. stick that guy in there as well. And I think this is going to go at the front, so I'm going to trim off this and stick it down. Like so. And this one's going to go here. So cute. All right. So let's get our pull tab mechanism in place. So this is going to go, your little semicircles we're going to push through here. And then we're going to open them up. And then if you line up the strip halfway between, so there's like even gaps on both sides, that's what you want. And I like to use a little bit of memo tape just to secure it. And then you can use some double-sided sticky tape if you like. But I've got my glue here. And as long as you stick it between where the end of the pull tab notch is and the end of the slot, then you'll be grand. Now, where did my little circle go? Did I cut a circle? I feel like I did cut a circle. There he is. So this is my semicircle that I'm going to stick onto here. Now, I did cut a notch, so let's just eyeball that for now, like so. And I'm going to stick that on and secure it. So that helps actually these, instead of them sticking up like this, it helps flatten them down. So like this. You could also add more belly bands for more stability. Absolutely, you absolutely can. Add more belly bands for more stability. You could add a couple of them, especially if you have a very long one. Now here there's actually you can see the white of my band of this. So if you wanted to, you could actually add a strip of blue to that in at the back there, as long as it's not going to interfere with your mechanism. The other thing you can do is this little slit that we cut out earlier, you can stick that in at the back there if you wanted to, so then it would slide. So it's on this piece. It's got stuck now. But it slides like so. Oh, this cheeky little guy. Stick him down. Let's cut a piece of this. I'm going to cut one of these, just a little bit here. See if we can make that a bit more hidden. Hi, Michaela. How are you? All right. So, I'm doing a little bit of patching up here. So the only thing that you need to bear in mind is that we don't want it to catch on the belly band. So you might want to make it the whole length if you want to. I think mine's going to catch on the belly band if I don't make it the whole length, to be honest. and if I add that to the thing, it's going to be too tight. So I'm just going to have to leave mine for now, to be honest. But that's okay. It's still super cute. So you do want to make sure that there is enough room for your band to go in and out, like so. So I recommend that you raise this up using some foam. And we have got foam tape in the Heffy Doodle store that is 3 mil deep. So it's actually really quite deep. It's perfect for shakers. And just make sure that it's not going to interfere with any of your moving parts. And then we can stick it on. Can you tell me what size this scalloped rectangle is in centimeters? I can. Give me a minute and I shall grab my ruler for that. Oh no, there we go. Oh, before I stick this down, actually, I'm going to make sure that I'm cutting this flush against here. In fact, I find if you pull it out slightly and then cut it, so it's slightly shorter, it actually works better, and you'll see why in a wee minute. So let's pop that down there. The scalloped rectangle is 21 centimeters by 8.5 centimeters, or just slightly a millimeter out of that, out over that. Okay, so this guy's going to go on here, and he's going to slide across. So let's get him going. We're going to stick some glue onto here, and we're going to pop that down. And there's 3 layers of card on him, so he's super sturdy. Really happy about that. So let's, oh, do you know what I didn't do? Is I didn't give him his chip. But before I do that, let's give him a googly eye, because it's so cute. So funny. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Turtle. This guy's going to be over here, just minding his own business. He is funny. So funny. Let's take him down. All right. So for this section then, we're going to need to do the little pull tab. Michaela says, I want to know the name of the die and where I can find it. This is the Heffy Doodle Slimline. No, this is a Heffy Doodle Slimline pull tab die. And I'm also using the Heffy Doodle Slimline Trio, Stitch Slimline Trio die. So you get 3 stitched slimline rectangles, and then you also get the piece in the middle that has a trio, like 3 rectangles. So this is going to go right here, and I'm actually going to cut that out of some of the blue card, so it blends in with the sea like this. Let's cut this out. The googly eyes give him a little attitude. Absolutely. Where's those French fries though? Need to get that on the go. All right. So I'm going to cut this again using a little scrap of orange, I think, maybe. just to tie in with the background. Hopefully that's not too much with my red boy. I mean, it might need to balance it out with a couple of other pieces of colour, but that's okay. We'll figure that one out. We'll get there, we'll get there. So we've got a boy we can add. I might colour the inside with a marker. So for this, you need to fold it in half like that. And we're going to fold that around here in the closed position. So if you make sure this is closed, and I add a little bit of glue. Ooh, let's see. If I glue to the front here, that'll work. So you want to line up the edges if you can, so that it grips onto that pull tab. Oops. When it's in the closed position. I think that's it. And on the back, make sure it's nice and secure. And then we can add, I'm running out of glue, a little arrow in the inside. Like that. In fact, I should have added a wee bit of blue to the bottom before adding the arrow. So I'll carefully do it now, just to tie in with this section here. So when you push it in, it's like this. Can you see? You pull it out, he's moving across. All right, so let's add some extra bits. We have got what could be a French fry. We have some fishies, and we have a boy. Let me see if I can find a blue color that somewhat matches my cardstock. Triple 0, too light. 00 looks good. I think B12 is probably a bit too dark, but that a tiny bit. We'll add that in over here. Come on. And shall we turn this into a fry? A French fry? I'm not sure how that's working. Whether it looks like a French fry or not. Does this look like a French fry? Let's see. Now the black line extended too much, but that's fine. We will deal with that. So we could have her holding a French fry, and that's going to look like a cigar. I'm not sure how to put this. I think if I had put a slit in his beak at the very start before I layered up 3 layers, we might have been able to make that work. But don't think I'm going to be able to make that work right now. So much for leaving it to figure it out at the end. We definitely need some more action in the card. So let's do the sentiment. We'll just play the tidy up game for a moment. Okay, that is for these. So I think the long "You Go Girl" sentiment is going to look kind of cool. No, sorry, "Hey Girlfriend" is going to look cool up the top. So let's focus on that one. Get that stamped. "Hey Girlfriend." And we might actually do that in red to balance out my red buoy. Buoy boy, buoy boy. Let's try ink on 3 Atelier inks for this. Yeah. I'm just gonna scrub this stamp a second with a stamp cleaner. Red always stains. Fact of life. Stains my socks, stains my stamps. Standard. Marcy says, that's got to be one of my most favorite sentiments. Yay! I love it, but I think we need some more action, whether it's a little fish or whether it's a, where'd my little fish go? We could have a fish maybe, or we have something else peeping its head up. We could maybe have the seal. I think the seal's too big for the back. He would go there, but he'll catch, I think. Do you know what we'll do is we'll just add a bit more blue to the bottom section. And I think that will actually tie it in a little bit better. If I'd thought ahead of the game, I could have splattered it, and I think that would have helped. I don't really want to splatter it when it's all assembled. Yeah. So I think maybe we could add really light clouds to the background. Let me see if I can find a stamp with small clouds. I think Super Dudes has got some small clouds. Probably be perfect for this actually. Yeah. And we'll just add them in with a light color. Maybe use my wild honey, or dried marigold even. No, wild honey. Oh, honey. Where's wild honey? There it is. All right, so wild honey is a little bit too wild for me. So I'm gonna do second generation stamping. So you stamp it once on a piece of paper, and then you stamp it second time without re-inking on your card. Once here, second time on your card. So let's do that again with the tiny flat bottomed cloud. Once here. I think we do need one. Maybe there. What do you think? Loving it. I think instead of going on a blue background, we need a different color background. Either we go for an orange tone like this, or we go for red. And I'm feeling orange right now, I think. I think we're gonna go for some orange. Just gonna see. What do you guys think? Orange? I think that makes it pop a lot. In fact, what I can do is use my largest trio die. Cut this out. Orange, says Ashley. Aunt Max is clapping, agrees with our orange theory. I think so. I think that's really going to make the difference here. Put that blue one away for another day. And did I cut a white one? I don't think I did. So I will fold up the white piece at 3.5, just like I did with the blue at the start. And then I will give it a little notch at 7. So I can trim it at 7. I can find it. And then I'll stick my orange one on top, and the bonus now is that this has nice stitching around the outside. Yay! So let's grab my ATG gun, stick this on. So these two dies are just made for one another, the stitched slimline trio and the slimline pull tab die. They're a match made in heaven. Let's stick this guy on here. And then the scalloped guy on top. Fitting perfectly. And then we have Hey Girlfriend. A little gull coming over. I like it. I do think that it would have been cute with the little French fry. He could be flying with the French fry at his feet. I could maybe make that work. But does it look weird if he's flying with it in his feet? What do you guys think? Let me grab some white ink to cover the where the black bit went over the top, over the edge. No, it looks great, says no. Okay, so I think we can maybe do that. Let me just wait for this to dry a little before I smudge it. And then we'll stick that under there. And I gotta be careful not to get glue anywhere else because it'll stop it from sliding if I do. Come on. I think my glue bottle heard me say, I better not get glue anywhere else. And then it came out with the biggest dollop of glue known to man. All right. Oh yes, I think the French fry would be perfect, says Rebecca. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Let's add a couple of little sparkles, sequins or something. Because why not? I'm gonna add a little bit more red. I know what it needs. It needs my Aunt Max Ink Road gems. Yeah. Oops, it's still got some inside. Nice. They're all the same size. Ranger's back. Oh no, he's running. So once again, make sure that you're not going to be sticking down any of these guys anywhere near your sliding mechanism, because it might get in the way, hinder it a little, which would be no good. Coming in, buddy. And I'm trying to find like little bubbles, little gems or something. Oh, these ones are cute. These are the honeybee diamonds. They're tiny, but they're really sparkly. And I think I'm just gonna do another little scatter of things just for some fun. Not really worrying what they are, just brings a bit more fun. The little embellishments. Some of them are little circles, almost like bubbles. Some are tiny little stars. They're so tiny, however, I can barely grab them. There we go. There we go. I think I'm gonna call that done. Yay! Oh, at 2:57. Oh, I need to scroll up 57, which is 22:57 for me. I made a suggestion. Fish in the gold. Oh, here we go. On the inside, you could write, "Today will be happier than a gull with a French fry." Oh, I love that. That's amazing. I love it. Or "You make me happier than a gull with a French fry" would be awesome as well. Should have thought of that when I was making the stamp set. But yeah, I might print that up actually and put it in, because I think that'd be really cute. So there we go. Finish the card. Hey girlfriend, I've showed you how to use the slider. I've showed you the slimline trio, which is back in stock for now. Grab it while you can. We have a blog hop tomorrow. You see how shiny it is now? Oh, pretty. We have a blog hop tomorrow at the Heffy blog. Please feel free to join us. And we will have a promotion running, which is free Little Lighthouse die with £30 spend. No, free Little House stamp with £30 spend, die, stamp and die free with 45. So if you didn't get that the last time that we had a promotion running, then you might want to check that out. All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna tag off because it is hot potatoes in my room at the moment. It's also got loads of bugs coming in. Thank you once again for joining me, and I will see you guys next time when you come craft with me. Bye! Cheerio. Have a great weekend. Bye.